So, good evening. I am Dr. B. Krishna Reddy, Principal, Samala Krishna Agricultural Polytechnic College, Tangelavaripalli, near Mudivedu, Tambalapalli Mandal, Chittoor district. Now, we are going to continue the second part of lecture number 5, commencing from common ion effect. What is the common ion effect? When a soluble salt, A plus C minus, is added to a solution of another salt, A plus B minus, containing a common ion A plus, the dissociation of AB is suppressed. So here you take one salt, soluble salt is one solute, that is AC, that is A plus and C minus. That means a solute AC which will get dissociated into A plus and C minus is added to another solute AB. That means in both the solutes or the salts which are getting dissolved will have the common ion A plus. Okay, then the dissociation in such a condition, the dissociation or otherwise known as ionization of AB is get suppressed, means it will be reduced. Suppressed means the speed will get reduced. This is the common ion effect. Here A plus is the common ion that suppresses the dissociation of AB. So it is like this: AB is in equilibrium with A plus B minus. By the addition of salt AC, the concentration of A plus increases. Therefore, according to Le Chatelier's principle, the equilibrium will shift towards the left, thereby decreasing the concentration of A plus or degree of dissociation of AB. That means AB ionization rate will come down. The reduction of degree of dissociation of a salt by the addition of common ion is called the common ion effect. Students should write this. If any question is asked, what is a common ion effect? Giving this entire example, you should write this without fail. That is, the reduction of degree of dissociation of a salt by the addition of common ion is called the common ion effect. I think it is clear. Example, saturated solution of, here we have given only AC or AB like that. We are not only assumed, these are the assumed names of solutes. Now we will see the real example. That is saturated solution of AgCl, that is mercury chloride. We have mercury chloride which is in solid form. S indicates the solid form. Then it is in equilibrium with the Ag plus, that is silver, I think it is mercury. Ag is silver, argentum. Wait a minute. Sorry, this should be written as mercury. It is silver chloride. Ag is silver. I think by mistake I have written. So saturated solution of silver chloride. We have silver chloride which is a solid and which is, when it is in a soluble state, ionization will take place and it converts, dissociates into silver Ag plus, that is AQ means aqueous solution, that is when it is in water. plus chlorine minus. That is also in solution. When silver chloride is in a saturated solution, then AgCl, which is in solid form, will be in equilibrium with the aqueous forms of Ag plus ion and aqueous form of chlorine ion. When sodium chloride is added, so that means here silver chloride and here sodium chloride, this chloride is common, you see. So sodium chloride is added to the solution, to this solution of silver chloride. When sodium chloride is added, the concentration of the Cl increases. That is, chlorine concentration will increase. The equilibrium will shift to the left. At that time, what happens? Equilibrium, while going this, it will shift to the left, and the form more and to form more of solid AgCl. So this forms more of solid AgCl. That means this formation will increase. See, when silver chloride is getting disassociated in water solution into silver Ag plus ions and chlorine plus ions, if sodium chloride is added to this solution of AgCl, silver chloride, then naturally this Cl concentration will increase, because silver chloride is also having chlorine and the sodium chloride also is in chlorine. So its concentration will increase. When its concentration increases, the reaction will take a shift towards the left, which results in the formation of more AgCl. So solubility of AgCl will decrease naturally. Solubility or the dissociation or the ionization of AgCl will reduce. This is called common ion effect. I think this question can be asked in the examination. What is the common ion effect? Students are requested to go through it, and if any doubts are there, you can raise your doubts through a WhatsApp group or by calling my numbers. Okay. Then coming to the application of common ion effect. So this common ion effect is being applied in various instances. Now let us see what is its application. So in our analytical chemistry, this common ion effect is used in analytical chemistry. In group A of qualitative analysis, the ionization of weak acids. Group 2 means in the periodic table, the elements present in the group 2, that is vertical groups are in vertical position. There these things are this type of elements will be there. So group 2 quantitative analysis, the ionization of weak acids means H2S, hydrogen sulfide, gives rise to 2H plus ions plus S2 minus ions, is suppressed by the presence of strong acid, that is HCl, having a common ion H plus. So when the group 2 qualitative analysis, the ionization of weak acids, so this ionization of weak acid like H2S will get suppressed in the presence of strong acids like HCl. Why? Because here H2S has got a H plus ion and HCl also has got a H plus ion, which are common, and therefore this reaction will get suppressed. That is formation of H2, that is dissociation of H2S into H plus Cl minus will get suppressed. Due to the suppressed degree of dissociation of H2S, the concentration of S2, that is sulfide ions, produced is low, which causes the precipitation of sulfide of second group cations only. Okay, what is second group cations? Barium, magnesium, calcium, strontium. So these examples are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, and barium, B is beryllium, Ba is barium, Sr means strontium, magnesium, and Ra radium. Similarly, in third group, the ionization of weak base, that is NH4OH and NH4OH, both gives rise to NH4 plus OH minus, is suppressed by the prior addition of NH4Cl, which furnishes a common ion NH4 plus. Whenever this common ion NH4 plus is added, then it will get this dissociation or ionization process will get suppressed. So equilibrium will be like this: NH4Cl in equilibrium with NH4Cl plus Cl minus. Okay. So due to this low dissociation, NH4OH, the OH ion concentration is quite low. This low OH concentration is sufficiently only to precipitate hydroxide of the aluminium 3 plus, chromium 3 plus, and ferric, that is Fe 3 plus. Next, second application, purification of common salt. This common ion effect is practically used in the field of purifying the common salt. So sodium chloride, common salt is sodium chloride, as obtained from the natural sources, usually contaminated with small amounts of deliquescent impurities like calcium chloride and magnesium chloride. The common salt, table salt, what we call, which is obtained from the natural sources like salt water, and this common salt contains some impurities like calcium chloride and magnesium chloride in a very small quantities. The purification of chloride solution by passing HCl gas into the saturated solution of the sodium chloride. So to remove these impurities, what they will do is in making this salt into the salt solution, this hydrochloric gas, chloric acid, HCl gas is passed through the sodium chloride solution. The addition of HCl containing it causes the precipitation of sodium chloride. It results in the precipitation of sodium chloride, but the impurities remain in the solution. Since the solution is not saturated as far as calcium and magnesium are concerned. So what happens when HCl gas is passed through the sodium solution, this sodium chloride, that is formation of salt crystals, will get speed up and salt crystals will be formed. Whereas the impurities, that is calcium and magnesium, they will remain in the solution, which will be drained out from these crystals, and the salt will be made, which will be free from the calcium and magnesium impurities. Okay, this is the second application. Coming to the third application, salting out of soap. In the soap industry also, this common ion effect is being used. In the soap manufacturing, a solution of common salt is added to the solution of soap, that is sodium stearate, to obtain solid soap. Addition of common salt, sodium chloride, increases the volume of sodium stearate in solution until the solubility product of soap is exceeded. Thereby, soap gets precipitated. That means in the manufacturing of soap, the precipitation of the soap into a solid will be hastened or increased due to the addition of sodium chloride, which is also once again because of the common ion effect. Okay, that means one in the preparation or manufacturing of the common salt. The second usage or second application is in making of a soap. Then comes the fourth one, in gravimetric analysis. When excess precipitation, that is either HCl or H2SO4 is added to solution containing silver or barium ions, silver plus or barium ions, complete precipitation of silver chloride or barium sulfate occurs due to the presence of excess of common chlorine or sulfate. So, gravimetric analysis. In the gravimetric analysis, what happens is when excess precipitation, that is hydrochloric acid or H2SO4, is added to a solution containing silver or barium ions, complete precipitation of silver chloride or barium sulfate occurs due to the presence of excess common chlorine or sulfate ions. So, this precipitation or formation of silver chloride and barium sulfate will take place. This is a gravimetric analysis. Next, solubility and solubility product. What is solubility and what is solubility product? When an anionic solid substance dissolves in water, it disassociates to give separate cations and ions. This is what we are studying up to now. So, whenever an ionic solid substance is dissolved in water, it gets dissociated or it is ionized to give a separate cations and anions. This is a well-known fact, what we are studying up to now. As the concentration of the ions in the solution increases, they collide and reform the solid phase. Ultimately, a dynamic equilibrium is established between the solid phase and the cations and anions in the solution. So, for example, for sparingly soluble salts, sparingly soluble means less soluble salts like silver chloride, we can write the equilibrium equation as under. That is silver chloride, S means in the solid form, is in equilibrium with silver, the Ag plus ions, which is in aqueous or containing water. Aq means aqueous means which contains water, that is in the solution form, plus chlorine minus ion, Cl minus, which is also in aqueous form. So, the value of solubility of a substance depends on the solvent and the temperature. So, in this ionization process or dissociation of a salt, what happens? The value of solubility, so the value of the solubility of any substance depends on the solvent. Solvent is the liquid into which the solute will get dissolved. So, depends on the nature of the solvent and the temperature. So, applying the law of mass action to the above equation, if you apply what is the mass action, if the concentration increases, the process of ionization also increases. So, applying the mass action to the above equation, equilibrium, so silver chloride, for the silver chloride. For the silver chloride example, if we apply the law of mass action, then how it looks like you see. This is a K is a constant. So AgCl and ClAg, Ag plus and Cl minus. These are the two ions, and by AgCl, that is non-dissociated silver chloride. Here the dissociated silver chloride is get dissociated into cations and anions, namely chlorine ions and silver ions. Next, saturated solution. The dissolved and undissolved solutes are in equilibrium. So, in the above the formula itself, we understand that the dissolved, that is, those got ionized and formed into Ag plus and Cl minus, and undissolved AgCl solutes are in equilibrium. They will be in equilibrium. A saturated solution represents the limit of a solute's ability to dissolve in a given solvent. Saturated solution. A saturated solution represents, that is, what is a saturated solution? If you add some more solute to it, it will not further improve the dissociation. So it reaches its peak stage. So saturated solution means it represents the limit of the solute's ability to dissolve. That means it indicates to the maximum level of dissociation or solubility of a solute getting dissolved into a solvent. So saturation solution, a saturated solution represents the limit of a solute ability to dissolve in a given solvent. This is a measure of the solubility of the solute. This is nothing but the measure of a solubility of a solute. Then what is solubility? The solubility of a substance in a solvent is the concentration in saturated. So this is the simple one. I think this definition you can read and remember. What is the solubility? The solubility of a substance in a solvent is the concentration in saturated solution. So solubility of a substance in a solvent is the concentration in saturated solution. Solubility of a solute may be represented in grams per 1000 ml, that is liter, of solution or moles per liter. So this definition also need to be remembered. Molar solubility is defined as the number of moles of a substance per 1 liter of a solution. So molar solubility also you need to study and remember. The value of solubility of a substance depends on the solvent and the temperature. I think elsewhere also we have studied this. The value of solubility depends on the solvent and the temperature at which this reaction is undergoing. Then applying the law of mass action to the above equilibrium for silver chloride. When you apply the law of mass action to our earlier studied silver chloride equilibrium, we have the following formula. That is K. We already know that what is a K is a equilibrium constant. K is nothing but a equilibrium constant is equal to Ag plus and Cl minus divided by AgCl. Then the amount of AgCl in contact with saturated solution does not change with the time and the factor AgCl remains the same. Thus the equilibrium expression becomes as under. That means this amount of silver chloride in contact with the saturated solution does not change with the time and the factor AgCl remains the same. So this equilibrium can be rewritten as under. That is KSP is equal to Ag plus and Cl minus. So where Ag plus and Cl minus are expressed in moles per liter, the equilibrium constant KSV is known as solubility product constant. It is solubility product constant and also called as the ionic product. This is a constant at a given temperature. This KSP will be constant at a given temperature. The product of the concentration of ions, that is moles per liter in the saturated solution at a given temperature is constant. This is called the solubility product. So this definition also students are requested to remember. What is the solubility product? For an electrolyte AXBY which ionizes as AXBY is equal to XA to the power Y plus YB to the power of X minus. Example, barium chloride is equal to barium plus 2Cl minus. If you put KSP for this, then the formula will be Ba2 plus into Cl minus 2. Whereas A to the power y plus and B to the power x minus 1 are ionic concentration of a saturated solution. Thus, the solubility product of an electrolyte may be defined as the maximum product of the concentration of a constituent ion, that is gram ion per liter in its solution, when each ionic concentration being raised to the number of times the ion occurs in the equation representing the solution of one molecule of the electrolyte. Relation between solubility and solubility product. Consider the general form of electrolyte AXBY, which dissociates as AXBY is equal to X A to the power Y plus YB to the power X minus. Let S gram moles per liter be the solubility of electrolyte. Then the amount of A to the power X plus presents is equal to X into S into B to the power X minus present is equal to Y to the power of X into S. So A to the power Y plus is equal to X into S, that is Y to the Y into B to the power X minus is equal to Ys. Then Ks is equal to A to the power Y plus to the power X into B to the power X minus whole to the power Y. So this gives rise to Ks is equal to Xs to the power X into Ys to the power Y. So then finally it becomes X to the power of X into S to the power of X into Y to the power of Y into S to the power of Y, which is equal to X to the power of X, Y to the power of Y into S to the power X plus Y. So this, if you see with the actual electrolyte example, what we get is, suppose barium chloride, which is in equilibrium with the barium 2 plus 2L. Then for this, if we put Ks, what is the Ks? Is equal to 1 to the power of 1 into 2 to the 2 square into S to the power 1 plus 2, which ultimately gives rise to 4S3. This is how the relation between solubility and solubility product can be arrived. With this, we are concluding the lecture number 5, and next class we will start lecture number 6, 7 and 8. I think these, it's the unit number 4. There are 6, 7 and 8 lecturers are there. This we will continue in the next class. This is related to electrolytes and electrolysis and the mechanism of electrolysis. I think it is almost the same thing. We will see in the next class. Thank you very much. Thank you.